Well, good evening, all my little lions and lionesses. Bursty here with you tonight, and well, it's going to be another thoughts video. And today we're going to talk about a Star Wars movie I was less than happy with. All right, the one current elephant in the room that's the worst Star Wars movie so far in my books is, unfortunately, the Han Solo movie. Now, this movie had probably some of the most hype, the most possibility, and the most chances of being a good movie. And I feel like every chance it could have had, it didn't use any of it. All right. We came into this movie wanting answers to questions. A lot of questions about Han Solo's past. This really didn't fill in much of the gaps. I mean, it gave us why he has Chewie as his life partner, kind of thing, life debt. It gave him, in the end, the very end, why he had the Falcon. But everything in the middle just kind of happened. All right. We start with his childhood. Um, and I was bored. He was like a 12-year-old or whatever, or maybe 16-year-old thieving. Um, and he had a girlfriend, and he worked for a giant worm creature or something. I don't remember exactly. And he was trapped on Corellia, effectively. Couldn't move out of there, and uh, then he like breaks out effectively with and bribes his way onto a ship. And then all of a sudden he's an Imperial soldier on a very muddy planet, which was really unpleasant to look at. Corellia was bad enough. It was hard to see what was going on. Felt like everything was kind of mashed together. Felt like it just kind of felt uncomfortable. Then he's on a muddy planet, which again, uncomfortable. I just like I kept wondering, like, can they all just go wash their hands or something, or put on some clean clothes? This is this is just feels yucky. And the people he's supposed to end up making friends with get him thrown into worse jail, uh, to be eaten by a Wookiee, who he helps break out. Um, then he escapes with them, the people that got him thrown into the pit to be eaten by a Wookiee. So, why would you still want to be friends with these people? There are other ways to steal a ship than to go with those particular people. Um, then they go and do crimes together, stealing from the Empire. Not a bad thing. I mean, Empire bad, but very ineffective criming. It's like we could have planned this out better, had a couple more hands in different places, a couple more gunners in different places, and somebody had sold them out. Effectively, they were being raided by another group of people who wanted the same stuff they had, the hyperspace fuel stuff. And because the other group wanted it too, everybody loses. Not only does the Empire no longer have their stuff, their group didn't get it to sell to other people, the other group didn't get it, it all just goes blowed up. And we lose a bunch of the good guy characters. So that happened. You're barely getting a chance to know any of these people, and half of them are dead already. So hope you didn't get attached to guy with extra legs or girlfriend, they're all dead. Um, then we end up with a gambling situation with Lando Calrissian, who is actually actively cheating. Now, I would have liked it better had we just had him just being really good at cards, not specifically cheating. That felt kind of lame. But we then escape with Calrissian and help him break out his ship, Falcon, which is currently under lock and key. It's been impounded. Great. Uh, and it's in really nice condition, though. It's still got all its paneling. Apparently, it used to have a lot more paneling. And it looks pretty, and it's not busted up old state that we see in every other movie. But it doesn't feel right. It feels like it's too shiny. And his, like, Lando's wardrobe room and stuff in there feels out of place. Especially knowing what the ship turns into. Like, where did this wardrobe and bedroom stuff all end up at? Because we never see that stuff again. Then we have some hyperspace stuff go on. We have a droid revolution we create for some odd reason. We steal the fuel, but needs to go get processed. You have to go really quickly to get it to the place to get it done. We have a crime syndicate that we're needing to pay off, and everybody's double crossing everybody else. Honestly, it got so hard to follow with so much double crossing and redouble crossing. It's hard to remember who's on whose side because it constantly is changing. You don't know who you're really cheering for. In the long run, even if a movie has like double crossing, you at least can figure out some people you want to follow and be with, be on their side. And through this movie, even knowing who Han Solo turns into, I want to be on his side. Everybody just seemed to be, you know, assholes throughout the whole thing. In the long run, the movie just left me flat. I didn't feel like I gained much knowledge of Solo. I felt more like I just gained kind of a mess, and not really a good mess. Yeah. None of the environments made me feel like I wanted to be there. None of the characters made me feel like I wanted to back them. And in the end, the coolest stuff happened in like the tailpipe of the movie. Like we find out the head of the syndicate was currently Darth Maul, which had happened in the Clone Wars series. So that just insinuates we're around that time frame. That's all. That's all we did. We verified we were near the end of the Clone Wars because Darth Maul was in charge of the Dark Sun. I think that's who they were. Yeah. And in the like post credits, Han ends up winning the Millennium Falcon. So yeah, it felt like, oh yeah, by the way, that stuff you cared about that you were here to see, that can happen now. Unfortunately, because of this movie's poor results, I believe is why Disney's not doing any more sub movies in the Star Wars genre. And I feel they really dropped the ball on this. They could have done a lot better. And there are a lot of other stories that could have happened that might have been good. But since this failed miserably, looks like that that gravy train has sailed. I'm hoping for more good out of the TV series, though, because got more coming down the line, so digits crossed. Um, Hoping for more better stuff to show up out of that. Both the adult and the child line. The Resistance is still going on, and we have the sequel series to um, The Mandalorian coming up next year, I think. I think that was supposed to be coming around next Christmas-ish zone. Might see more of that. Well, we'll see what happens. But for now, unfortunately, the backstory for Han Solo is going to be filed right there with Wolverine Origins. Just not a pleasant end up. In fact, I liked X-Men Wolverine Origins better than this. It was easier to follow. And I stayed awake through it the first time. It took me, I think it was 4 tries to watch the Solo movie, including the one in the theater, to stay awake through the whole thing. Yeah, normally I can stay awake through a movie in the theater, at least. At home, there's a good chance I'm watching it when I'm already tired, so I might fall asleep. But in the theater, you had a theater experience that was boring enough to make me fall asleep. You did something wrong, Disney. You really did something wrong there. Because Solo shouldn't have been boring. Solo should have been exciting, not nap-worthy. Anyway, thank you for listening to me complain about a Star Wars thing. I think there's only really one Star Wars thing left to talk about. It is definitely on the complaint list, but it's also on the barely relevant list. So we'll save that for the next one. So for now, thank you for spending some time with this Linus this evening, and I hope you're having a good one. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The little dingly bell for the little dingly bell let you know when I post new videos. Who knows? Could be another Bursty video. Those are always fun. For now, Patreon link in the description box below. Always appreciate every penny given. Not a requirement, just a request. More than anything else, please keep watching videos. That makes me a happy kitty. I like seeing the fact that people have watched what I've done. Makes me feel useful. So for now, thank you so much from the bottom of my fluffy heart, and I'll see you all again very soon.